siento muy bien, la verdad que feliz y con muchísimas ganas de este desafío, una nueva ilusión, de que ayudar al club a que pueda conseguir títulos, del cual el año pasado fue el primero, y bueno, creo que vengo a ayudar a poder cumplir esos sueños de seguir ganando más títulos, cosas importantes, y de que Inter pueda estar peleando ahí la MLS, que es el sueño de todos. Por el proyecto de querer ganar, me gustan los desafíos de querer ganar, y creo que es un lindo desafío por la afición, del cual lo que he visto contagia muchísimo, te ilusiona muchísimo, y eso te genera mucho entusiasmo para poder competir. Y bueno, y después obviamente la liga viene creciendo mucho, hay jugadores de alto nivel, no solo Inter de Miami, sino que en todos los demás clubes, y eso hace una liga muy competitiva que viene creciendo, y son desafíos que uno se pone para poder alcanzar esos sueños. Bueno, otra de las decisiones que tomás de Inter son porque tenés amigos y grandes jugadores, no son solo amigos, son jugadores que demuestran en cada partido. A nivel mundial son muy conocidos, está el mejor jugador del mundo, y eso te genera una expectativa muy linda. Y bueno, después de haber compartido muchísimos años con ellos, haber logrado muchas cosas juntos, hace que nos conozcamos, que no necesitamos mucho tiempo para poder conocernos dentro de la cancha. Y bueno, y creo que por el mismo camino que vinieron ellos, vengo yo de querer ayudar y tener esa ilusión, ese deseo que tienen todos los hinchas de Inter de poder ganar algún título más. Vengo de Brasil, de una liga muy competitiva, en la cual a nivel personal y a nivel de club no me puedo quejar. Tuvimos un año increíble, y bueno, es una demostración más de que estoy bien, tanto futbolísticamente como físicamente, y eso me hace sentirme con muchísimas ganas de querer comenzar la 2024 ya. Creo que queda muy poco para volver a empezar, y bueno, creo que son lindas posibilidades que me da el Inter para poder seguir demostrando de que puedo seguir haciendo grandes cosas en el fútbol y hacer crecer a Inter. No, la hinchada de Inter, primero agradecerle por el cariño que ya me han dado, y obviamente que confíe en el equipo como viene confiando los años anteriores, y que este año vamos a tener un lindo año, un año del cual esperemos darle todas las alegrías que ellos quieren, y que hasta el final vamos a luchar nosotros para poder conseguir esos sueños.
Welcome to This is Football. Bienvenido a This is Football. Happy New Year. This is Football fans. Happy New Year. Danny Solana back with you once again. It's a Tuesday. It's 2024. We got a lot of crazy stuff going on right now with the club, with the league, in the world of soccer. I see some comments here. I see Kevin Schwartzman here, one of our good followers, one of the good friends of the show, saying Happy New Year, saying he just got goosebumps. I got goosebumps, man. I got goosebumps watching that. I've had goosebumps since Suarez signed with the club. It's going to be a crazy 2024. But first and foremost, let's get into a little bit of what I teased. A lot of folks, we took a little bit of a hiatus. A lot of folks are wondering, what's going on with This is Football? Are the boys going to come back? And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to address, whatever it is that needs to be addressed, and just leave it all out there. So, we had a meeting with production, and, this is what we decided. And we're going to talk a little bit about the title of this episode, and basically the reorganization of This is Football, and what 2024 is going to bring to basically to this show and to the folks that follow us. So essentially, let's get right into it. Dream, sacrifice, work hard. Why did we choose this title? Why did I choose this title? It's really important to understand. We had a dream as a group of friends, about a year ago, to put a show together, to talk about soccer, to get together. That dream was established, and we went out there. We were able to cover, some MLS games, able to get in there, and talk to some head coaches, ask the difficult questions, ask the questions that we, as football followers, basically our whole lives, wanted to, ask and never got the chance to. So that was what the dream was. In terms of sacrifice, look, a lot of people who work in the industry can tell you sacrifice a lot. I cannot tell you how many, late nights, we spent at the stadium, until 11, 12 o'clock at night, and then driving home, getting home at 1 in the morning. So there's a lot of sacrifice in here. But this is where work hard comes in. 2024 is all about working hard. I know I made some mistakes, some missteps, might have, burned a few bridges, hopefully didn't. But, the truth is that I've, taken a lot of time over the last 4 months to, look at myself, talk to folks about This Is Football, understand, what is it that folks really want out of a podcast or a show, kind of like a talk show or something, out of something coming out of Miami. And, this is where, like I said, the work hard piece comes into place. And what can we expect for This Is Football in 2024? Well, I can guarantee you, or not guarantee you, but I can definitely promise you that we are going to put out a show every single Tuesday. New time, folks. New time, 9:30 p.m. For those of you that are used to the 9 p.m. starts, I know today we started at 9 p.m., but it's going to be a new start time. It'll be a 9:30 p.m. start time going forward. And, it'll be every Tuesday. So there's going to be some consistency where, maybe last year we weren't as consistent. There will be some consistency. Every Tuesday there will be a show. It'll be a 30-minute show starting at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Like I said, we will have a guest on every single show from, whether it be an opposing team's podcast, whether it be, an Inter Miami fan. So I urge you folks to, write to the This Is Football Instagram, write to the This Is Football Twitter. The handles are at the bottom. It's at TI Football Podcast. If you're an Inter Miami fan, if you're a fan of an MLS team and you're playing Inter Miami, write to us. I want to bring you on the show. I want to talk to you. I want to ask you questions. I want to understand, what is the fan thinking? If you're not a fan, and you, just love the game of football and you like watching, the football over in Europe and you just want to comment, definitely write to me. I'd love to bring you on the show. So definitely expect a show every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Like I said, it'll be at least 30 minutes. We will have a guest on every single show, whether it be a fan, whether it be a podcaster, whether it be somebody who does Twitch, a content creator, somebody from the media, possibly a player. But we will have a guest every single show. Like I said, starting next Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Also, keep an eye out, like I said, and this is where it's key. And if you're listening to us on any of the streaming platforms, wherever you listen to your podcast, this is key. You're going to want to follow us. You're going to want to hit that notification icon because we're not only going to be talking about Inter Miami, we're not only going to be talking about MLS, but we're going to be talking about the CONMEBOL qualifiers, the European qualifiers, the Champions League, Europa League, Premier League. We're going to have some specials for the big games. If, there's a big game, like La Liga, there's El Clásico, we have a Real Madrid, Barcelona, we're going to have a special. I don't know what day it's going to be, so that's why I said keep an eye out. Follow the Instagram account, follow the Twitter account, subscribe on our YouTube, hit the little bell so that when I'm gonna, when we're gonna come out with a new show, because those will be special shows, and there will be, on a Thursday or on a Friday. It could be any time. So the goal there is to have special broadcasts, like I said, with players for special leagues and special league games, and that's basically what it is. So that's what you can expect from This Is Football in 2024. Again, a lot of content coming towards your way, whether it be weekly shows, whether it be the special shows, whether it's myself going out to the stadiums over at Drive Pink. We have Copa America coming up. There's going to be some games over at Hard Rock, which we're going to try to cover. So definitely be on the lookout. This is going to be the year that we knock it out of the park, and it's going to be really up to you guys to really support us, help us out, comment in the comment section, give us a thumbs up, whatever it is, whatever you can do, give us a hand, do it. Because that's really what the soccer community is about. That's really what, myself, that's what I want to do. I've been in this community, for over 30 years, and all I want to do is give back to the community, give back some of the knowledge that I've gained from, refereeing, from coaching, from, watching many games, from playing at a high level, from talking to coaches, from interviewing, players, interviewing coaches, things like that. So again, a lot of knowledge to be shared here. And I just want this platform to be a place where you can find, all your football information, that we can share. And again, it'll be up to you guys, to support us. And really, I'm really excited. G says, excited for you guys. 2024, vamos por más. Always, G, definitely a loyal supporter. I know I haven't forgotten about the giveaway, the 250 subscriber giveaway. We are going to do it. I haven't forgotten about it. We are going to do it. We did get the jersey signed by Javier El Pupizanetti. I'm going to get it from Nico. And as soon as we do that, we will have the giveaway on a future show. So please stay tuned to that. All right, let's get into the show, man. Let's stop talking about what this is going to be. Let's get into some stuff here. Let's get into what's going on this year. You saw the Suarez, the Suarez interview here at the top of the show, when we started the show. Kevin said, he got goosebumps. I got goosebumps. I know the Inter Miami fans, are a little hot and cold. Some of the fan base is extremely happy to get a player like Suarez. Other folks are not happy at all to get somebody like Suarez. Other folks are, I don't know if the right terminology is Suarez haters, but, they just don't like the guy. They don't like that he, bites people. They don't like the fact that maybe, that he, said some racist things to, Patrice Evra when he was on Liverpool. Essentially he's had some controversies. Somebody on social media reached out to me and said, you should read his book, Suarez's book, because he talks a lot about, about those controversies. So, I urge you all to, go ahead and read that book. I'll go ahead and I'll post it on the Twitter account. But it's interesting, me personally, obviously I am a huge, Suarez fan. So I'm very biased when it comes to this. Of course, I'm super excited. I think this is a super positive, for Inter Miami. I think he's going to help, the club right here. A good friend of the podcast, another, an Inter Miami podcast, Battered Herons here, says everyone should jump on the Suarez bandwagon. We know in the past, that folks that hosted that show were against Suarez, like I said, due to maybe some of the controversies in the past. But, they had me on their show, and like we talked about with some other folks, it's time. If you're going to be an Inter Miami fan, you need to just jump on the bandwagon and just accept whoever it is that they're going to bring, whether it be Messi, whether it be Busquets, whether it might be De Gea, whether it might be Modric. There's a lot of names floating around. David Martinez. A lot of folks don't even know these names. Some of these names are very, very, very strange, and we're going to get into that next Tuesday. In terms of, some of the other names that, that we can expect, or maybe some of the new names that have been, announced over the week. We know that Media Day is next week. So we're going to try to make it out there, cover Media Day, see if we can get some interviews with some of the players, obviously, especially Suarez. So if we're able to do that, we'll definitely post it up on the social media platforms. But I wanted to point your attention, and it's funny that that our friends at Battered Herons are watching this, because they mentioned this on their show last night, and I had actually mentioned in their comments. Again, not to steal any of your spotlight, guys. I love your show. I watch the show all the time, so I wasn't trying to get some free marketing there, but I am going to show, and I did make this make this for the show, where, we were trying to, they were talking about who the players were going to be and all that. So, I essentially put it out here, right now on the Inter Miami roster, you've got, for goalkeepers, Drake Callender, CJ Dos Santos, and Cole Jensen. The defenders, you have Tomas Aviles, Sergei Kristoff, Chris McVeigh, Ian Frey, Ryan Saylor, Jordi Alba, Noah Allen, Franco Negri, DeAndre Yedlin, Harvey Neville, and Yannick Bright. Let's not forget Yannick Bright is one of the draft picks that Inter Miami had in the draft a couple weeks ago. And also, I do want to point your guys' attention to the folks that are obviously watching on YouTube. To those of you that are listening on one of the streaming platforms, there's an asterisk on a few of the players there, Christophe, Frey, and Negri. The reason is because they are currently injured. We know Negri and Frey both have torn ACLs. Christophe is nursing another injury. But let's move forward. In the midfield, Inter Miami has a really, really interesting, point to take in the offseason. And we're going to get into that. So in the midfield, they've got obviously Busquets, Gregory, David Ruiz, Ben Kagamashi, the Wonderkin, Diego Gomez, the Paraguayan, Jean Mota, Lawson Sunderland, Ryan Carmichael, which was one of the other draft picks, Facundo Farias, who had a breakout season for Inter Miami last year, and Santiago Morales, who is Javier Morales' son, who, if you all remember, signed with the club towards the end of last year. Then in the forward position, the club currently has under contract Robert Taylor, Robbie Robinson, Edison Ascona, Lionel Messi, Emerson Rodriguez, who was on loan at Santos Laguna. He is now coming back. Felipe Valencia, the big signing so far this offseason, Luis Suarez. Let's not forget the Ecuadorian, Leo Campana, Coco Jean, who is also injured, and there should be an asterisk on there, Nico Stefanelli, Schneider Borgelin, and Leo Afonso. So that is the current roster that Inter Miami has right now today. A lot of folks are questioning, okay, where does the team need help? What's going on? And our friends over here are saying nice work. I appreciate it. I'll send it to you after so you can use it. No big deal. I'm all about sharing. Sharing is caring. So anyways, folks are asking, where is it, that the team needs help? We see that they have a lot of players under contract. The DPs currently right now are Sergio Busquets and Leo Messi. Folks are speculating if Luis Suarez is going to be a DP. Nothing's been announced yet in terms of what his contract's going to be like. So a lot, the fans are really left in the dark in terms of what's going on with Inter Miami. And what players are going to be there. What players are not. I see right here, Stockholm says Yannick is a CM. Appreciate it. He was listed as a defender. Appreciate it. I'll make sure that I fix it and I add him to the midfielders, but I appreciate that. So again, getting back to what I was saying, they seem to have a long roster here, but where are the holes? Obviously, the defending position, the defenders. Everybody knows that Tomas Aviles, came in, was talked about very highly, came in as a U22 player, played in Racing over in Argentina. And, he had some highs, some lows for Inter Miami last year. But I would say, he left a lot to be desired for. Maybe an entire offseason under Tata Martino, is going to help him, get into the space, into the physical condition, the mental condition, and kind of get together, and sorry about that. And what like I said, and maybe he'll, get into it. So to me, Christophe last year, I never really, me personally, I was never a fan of Christophe from the beginning. Some folks did like him. Others were more fans of, the recently traded Kamal Miller. But then again, you have Chris McVeigh, Ian Frey. Again, a lot of players who I think are good for depth. But I think really what Inter Miami needs are center backs. And with the announcement that LGP, that's Leandro Gonzalez Pires, who you all remember was under contract, was loaned out to River Plate in Argentina. It was announced that he would be staying permanently with River Plate in Argentina. So that is one more center back that will not be, coming back to the team. And he, could have helped the team. He was up and down again in his season and a half that he played with the club, but he could have definitely helped out. He probably would have been more in line with the player that Tata Martino is looking for. But again, he's going to stay in River. So Inter Miami is now forced to go and look for two center backs. I also think, and they've been They've been rumored to be going after Julian Gressel, who could play that right back or right wing back position. If that's the case, could we see a possible trade of the former captain before Messi got here, DeAndre Yedlin? Or would Yedlin stay on as possibly a backup? Who knows? Or would Gressel back him up? Who knows? A lot of questions here, a lot of ifs that we're gonna, come to figure out over the next couple of weeks here. And again, I think it's gonna be a really, really super interesting couple of weeks because Inter Miami, like I said, needs a lot of help in the defense. They also need, in my opinion, a lot of help in the midfield. Sergio Busquets is going to be a fixture in the midfield. I think Diego Gomez is going to be a player who needs to develop a little bit more, but could be a bright star this year with, again, a full preseason and a full understanding of what the MLS game, entails, from a person's body. Especially somebody coming from a league in Paraguay, which, might be a little bit more physical in terms of, folks kicking each other and, getting into it, but not as physical or where, you need some that speed and the aggression and all that, all mixed together, which the MLS is known for. Like I said, Busquets, I think, is going to be a fixture. Love David Ruiz. Love Benja Cremashi. Again, Diego Gomez is going to need to step up. Facundo Farias had a really, really, really bright start, and then he kind of, flamed out at the end, without Messi, in the lineup and all, he kind of flamed out. But again, I think he has a very, very, very bright future, and I think he will be in contention for a starting spot every single game. Obviously, the names I mentioned there, and folks know, I've been very vocal about it. Gregory G. Mota, I don't think fit into, what this team is looking for going forward. Again, that's my opinion. I don't have that on word by anybody at Inter Miami. I have not spoken to Tata Martino. I have not spoken to anybody at the team. But like I said, that's my opinion. The way that this team plays and the way that they play, I don't think fits what they're looking for. In terms of loss in Sunderland, Santiago Morales, we didn't get to see a lot of them. We did get to see Lawson in the, in Miami too. And look, he showed a lot of promise in the minutes that he had. But I think what this team is really going for, go big or go home. And they're just going to go look for, some of the big, big heavy hitters. I put it out there that, Nico Lodeiro was rumored, was going to be signed by Inter Miami. I had it on good word that he was going to be signed by Inter Miami. And, at the end of the day, him and his family decided that it was better for him to go to Orlando. I don't know if it was a money issue or not. Let's be clear that Inter Miami does not have the money that other teams have to offer. The players that come here are probably going to have to play for cheap, contracts because they want to play with, Suarez, Messi, Sergio Busquets. And that's why you're getting rumored players like a Modric, who could maybe come out, on a TAM deal or on a GAM deal, or whatever, one of those deals, kind of like a Bale did, and then they can, maybe transfer it to something bigger next year, or, hope that the rules change next year. So Inter Miami could look to do that at the summer transfer window, where you could have a Modric coming over, where you could have a Sergio Roberto coming over at the end of the European season. So it's going to be really interesting what happens here, over the next 6 months, especially to see how the team does in the MLS season, going forward. So in terms of forwards, I think Robert Taylor, it definitely would be great for depth. I think Robbie Robinson's days with the team should be over. Edison Escona, we talked to him last year a couple of times outside of the locker room, had his head down. I think he could be an interesting player, but I think he needs the minutes, and he's just not going to get them at Inter Miami. So I think it could just be time to, part ways with him. In terms of Emerson Rodriguez, again, another player who, could be there for depth, but, I don't know how he really fits in. Same thing goes with Felipe Valencia, Coco Jean, Stefanelli, Borgelin. The same thing really goes for them. I think the key, in the two number 9s for this team are Suarez and Campana. I think Campana is going to, can and has the ability to be an absolute star. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Campana has the ability to be an absolute star in this league, a star overall for Ecuador in the national team. I have some friends who are friends of his family, friends of him, and he's a very humble person. And again, he just wants to learn. And I think Suarez is the ideal forward to teach a person like Campana, how to be, how to be the proper number 9. And I say this because at every single place Suarez has been, he has always been willing to stay with the youngsters, stay after time, work with the youngsters, teach them, stay kicking the ball with them, working on free kicks. And I know this because I've seen it. I've personally seen it myself. When he was at Nacional, I've been at the practices, and I would see him stay, with Brian Ocampo, some of the other younger guys that were there, and work on free kicks and stuff like that. So I think that Suarez is going to be an absolute amazing signing for Inter Miami, not only because of the output that I think that he'll give to the team, but because again, he's going to be so good for Campana in terms of mentoring the young forward, and I think that's really what he needs. Stockholm there says Suarez and Campana up top going to be nasty, even though I reckon Campana will be his backup. Look, absolutely, I don't disagree with you. I think that it depends on how Tata wants to play. I think we've seen Tata play 4-3-3 in the past, also a 3-5-2, or maybe a 5-3-2 or a 5-2-3. So it all really depends on how Tata wants to play. You could see a Suarez and Messi play up top in a 5-3-2 lineup. You could even see maybe a Campana and a Suarez play up top when Messi's not there, or maybe taking some time off or coming off off the bench. So again, I think that either together or playing as his backup, I think both are going to be absolutely fantastic. Thank you again all for the comments. Keep commenting. This is fantastic. I want to move on to another topic that's been going crazy social media, especially on Twitter. And that's the famous jersey. This came out today. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not as bad as what what was originally shared a few weeks ago. I don't know if there's been a few variations of this same jersey that have gone around the all the different social media platforms. One was like extremely like Pepto-Bismol pink, which looked absolutely terrible. One was maybe like a fuchsia pink, also looked terrible. This actually looks kind of nice. Would I buy it? I don't know if I don't. Maybe I'd buy a Suarez one. Maybe if it's $200, I won't buy it. But I want to share with you something that a friend of mine shared with me earlier, and that's a variation of that. But that's this one, and I think this one actually looks, and I like that. Our friend over here again. Thank you for commenting, Stockholm. He says the first one looks clean. It's missing the arm patches. Obviously, we got to wait for the real one. But I think this one looks a little bit cleaner with, the Inter Miami logo, up on the left, the Adidas logo on the right, and then maybe that Royal Caribbean kind of, patch, or sticker across the front there. It looks a little bit more cleaner. I think it looks a little bit more symmetrically clean. The Don, he's just out up new. So he said, I did see that Don Cafecito said that he was gonna go get it, as soon as it comes out. Look, it's okay. It's okay. I thought it was gonna be, worse. I don't know. We'll see how. No worries, Chris. I see what you said. Joker, that the Joker put it up. Yeah. I saw that. I got it from somebody else. I imagine maybe they got it from the same place. But yeah, dude, it's crazy. Again, I'm gonna put it up, but to me, the crest on the top left shoulder, like above, the crest above the heart, the Adidas logo just right across from it horizontally, and then the old or that Royal Caribbean sticker just across the the chest there, I think looks a lot cleaner than what it is rumored is going to be the jersey this year, which is that Adidas and then the crest and then that big kind of Royal Caribbean anchor logo right down the middle, kind of vertically. But I don't know. It is what it is. We will see. We will see what happens with when they release the jerseys. But if it was up to me, I'd go with the other one. Let's see. Our friends here at the Battered Herons, I prefer the sponsors to not have words. Just the logo makes it look cleaner. I agree. But the anchor, it's just, I don't know, man. Don Cafecito, good evening. You just missed it. I was talking some beautiful words about your boy there, Leo Campana. I see, I did mention, I saw that you said you were going to buy the jersey on day one. I did see that. Now the question is, are you going to buy the $199.99 jersey, or are you going to buy the $49.99 from China jersey? That's the question that everybody is asking. I'm curious this year. Now, and again, I'm gonna wrap it up here in about 5 minutes. But one thing that I'm curious about for folks and I want you guys to leave it down in the comments if you're watching this, folks who went to the stadium last year. If you didn't notice before Messi, and then after, we brought, or Inter Miami brought Messi, Busquets, Alba, the amount of fake jersey sailors or, fake jersey people selling those fake jerseys all over around the stadium was absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. I even saw some folks get arrested, but I don't know the rules on how that works, because like some people are allowed to sell, some people aren't allowed to sell. Some people, they would just tell them, just go across the street and sell across the street. I don't know, man. Don Cafecito says, I'm going all the way authentic. It'll be our home jersey for the next 2 seasons. I agree. It will be the home jersey for the next 2 seasons. So, you'll get some good use out of it. The Battered Herons, both Danny and Chris say they're going to go authentic. It's the only way to go. Don Cafecito, he's talking about his man titties, so he won't look like a mannequin, but it's all good. Hey man, it's just get an XL. It's all good. You'll be good, bro. Just get a little bit bigger and it'll still look good. So again, it's just interesting. It's gonna be a really interesting year, but just to wrap it up, again, I just want to thank you guys for joining in. For those of you that arrived a little bit late, just to let you know, we're gonna have a new format this year as it's scrolling out there on the bottom. Once again, I just want to announce it out. Shows this year are going to be starting every single Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. It'll be about at least 30 minutes. We're going to try to go between 30 and 40 minutes. I will have a guest on every single show. That is a promise. I will have a guest on every single show. Like I said, whether it be a other podcast, it could be an Inter Miami podcast, it could be a podcast of another team that we're playing or that we've played, in the last couple of games. We're going to review. The idea is to do the podcast, review the weekend games or the last couple games, that happened before the last, or after the last podcast, and bring on, like I said, a fan or another podcaster or another show or a player from the other team, so that we can have some friendly banter and really, kind of analyze the game in terms of, if it could be a fan. Like I said, definitely write into our show accounts, write into our IG account, write into the Twitter account at TI Football Podcast. It could be, if you're, like I said, if you're a fan, I'm willing to bring on anybody on the show. Anybody. I don't really care who you are. I'm willing to bring you on, because what I want is anybody's perspective on how the games are going. Inter Miami, Atlanta United, doesn't matter. I just want to talk football with absolutely anybody and everybody who's willing to come on the This Is Football podcast and just talk football with me. So we'll have a segment, like I said, with a guest, and it could be anybody. I don't know who it's going to be. Every single Tuesday when the show starts at 9:30. And then, like I said, we will be having special broadcasts for special clásicos. Could be a Real Madrid versus Barcelona. It could be a Boca River. Could be a Nacional Peñarol. Obviously, I'm from Uruguay, so I'm a little biased. It could even be one of the Colombian ones. Maybe an Atlético Nacional. Versus whoever they. I'm sorry, I don't know who their rival is. Somebody else can bring. Can bring that up. Where maybe in Peru we could do an Universitario. Versus Alianza Lima. I know that is. I'm all about that. Anything in Europe, any one of the clásicos. It could be anything in the Premier League, whatever. I'm all about it. But it's gonna be for select games only. So definitely write in if you think that we should do a podcast or some sort of show, or if you have an idea for a show and you want to come on and you want to do this. That's what I'm about. I'm about coming out here and giving you guys that follow the show an outlet or some form of way to voice your thoughts, voice your opinions, whether it be on the team, on the league, on a player. Again, we're not here to trash anybody, so I don't I want to make this clear. If you come on, we're not going to come here and say this player is a piece of shit, or that's not what I'm about. I'm not about to trash anybody. But if you want to have a healthy dialogue, if you want to have a healthy debate about players, about coaches, about playing styles, about any game, that's what I'm about. So that's what we're going to do. So once again, I want you to go ahead. If you aren't yet, go ahead and give this a follow on YouTube. Follow us on YouTube, like I said. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. If you are not watching us on YouTube and you're listening to us on one of the social media platforms, whether it be Spotify, Apple, honestly, I don't know what I'm on. I gotta ask the producer, what I'm on. But look, that is, that's it. That's what we're gonna do. So, once again, thank you everybody for joining in tonight. I'll see you again next Tuesday. Like Steve Munoz, Don Cafecito says, Solana with crazy personal growth. That's really what 2024 is about for me. That's what the end of 2023 was. Was my self reflection period. That's why, like I said at the beginning, at the top of the show, that we went on a little hiatus. It was more of a self-reflection period. 2024 is all about the self growth, growing the game, growing really my personal relationships with folks within the game, and just learning as much as I can, and that's really what 2024 is all about. For those of you that don't follow me personally, you have my all my social media accounts are right there at Danny Solana 5. That's DANISOLANA 5. Also, I do a lot of stuff with some folks over in Uruguay with Arriabolso. I do some stuff with the Battered Fam over at the Battered Heat Fans. So you can catch us every Thursday at usually 10 o'clock, sometimes a little bit later. Depends on if my co-hosts are on time or not. Sometimes it's my fault. You never know. But once again, you can find me on all those platforms. I'm going to be available for all that. I'm always on for any dialogue on any one of those, social media platforms. So hit me up on any one of those. I'll see you guys again next Tuesday. For This Is Football, for myself, Danny Solana, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.